First of all, I'd just like to say thank you for coming today. Purpose for this get-together is just to update the media and the country from the police perspective, what we're doing and some of the things that we're seeing out there in the country as we go through this crisis, this pandemic, trying to deal and contend with the coronavirus or COVID-19. Also, as we all know, that we've got the state of emergency on now. It's going to be around for 14 days. It started on the 21st of this month, Saturday, midnight, and it will end on the 4th of April, Saturday, midnight as well. So, as long as the state of emergency is on, the Samoan police will be around 24/7 and will be extra vigilant as well to make sure that safety and order is in place for all of us here in Samoa. Also joining me is the Commissioner of Police, the Commissioner of Prison. This is Winterstein, and he'll talk a little bit about what's happening up there in our national prison and what things they're doing in that space to ensure that prisoners' welfare are safe as well, and also what are the potentials of anything coming up in the prison area. Also with me is our senior staff members and also our Deputy Commissioner here, Papalii, Keti, Mona, and our rest of our superintendents here to assist with this conference. Just for your information, we're in the Samoa Police headquarters, and this is our command post. This is where we do our operations from, and it's a 24-hour operation. We know everything that our employees are doing from this office here, so we track, we monitor all our movements, and also what the state of welfare of the Samoan police comes from this office here, where we meet every day. It's a 24-hour operation. We meet every day on a specific time where we get updated as to the condition and the status of the Samoan police and any issues that's popping up in our country, or what is it that we need to address. And this is where we think of all the different ways of how to address issues that might encounter us if this virus ever hits here. As far as we know, there's no cases that's been shown positive in Samoa, so we're very grateful. But we're always thinking ahead of ourselves. We're always thinking that it's here now. What is it that the Samoan police can do to ensure the safety and welfare of the Samoan people and our visitors and our guests in our country? So some of the things that we're doing is ensuring there's 24-hour patrol in the whole country. And we've already identified critical areas, such as the courts, the government buildings, our VIPs in this country, our government officials, our Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, and all those important VIPs. We have a list of all those areas that we patrol every day to ensure that they are okay. And also we monitor all the areas that's been identified that they need to be within compliance. For example, the marketplaces, the wharfs, the hospitals, over at the airport as well. We've got plans for a lot of things, and I know for a fact that we don't have all the answers here. This is all new to us as well, but one thing's for sure, that we're here until the end. We're going to go all the way through here, and we'll all emerge, and we'll all be okay. So there's calmness in here, that we know we have a job to do, we have a mission, we have a purpose, and we have a vision as well to tackle this thing from the law enforcement perspective. As far as compliance, we've been seeing very few in compliance. But what we're noticing is mostly coming from churches, the in-compliance, and we're very concerned with that. And I think everyone is aware of the order and what the order dictates. And there's no mass gatherings, anything more than 5. You cannot gather in a public place. Unfortunately, we've had numerous violations by various churches, and I'll give you a number, and I'll give you the churches that have been doing it, and hopefully this will curb that type of activity. For example, the Catholic Church, we have 24 infractions yesterday. Efakasa, we have 19. and Methodist Church we have 4, AOG 15, and others 7. So put together, there's quite a few violations here. Unfortunately, the cops are called to the locations. We have people calling us, so we have to respond, and also we're doing mobile patrols that respond to these churches and advise them to shut it down. Unfortunately, some are not complying, where we have to respond twice or even 3 times, and we got to the point where we created a form now where we're not only verbally warning the pastor in charge, but we're also now issuing warning letters to them, and they have them sign it. And of course, if they refuse, we put a refusal on there, and then hopefully we don't have to go to the next measure. There's a lot of stipulations in this order. The penalty is quite severe. It's 10,000 tala if you're convicted, and 2 years in prison. So it's pretty hefty. I think the United States is a little bit less, but Samoa is a little hefty on this. So it's very surprising to me that people are being non-compliant when it comes to this. So we're urging our religious sector to please conform. We've talked to National Council of Churches, we've talked to the heads of different church organizations, and they're all aware of our position here. Our last resort is making that arrest, which we do not want to do. What we're trying to get is voluntary compliance, and that we all work together on this. We're trying to deal with the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. But believe me, if we have to go there, then we will. Something we don't want to do, but if we have to, we will. As far as taxis and buses, there were some issues in the beginning with buses, but ever since we've been enforcing that and stopping buses and issuing them warning notices, we've seen a stock number drop, and we don't see that anymore. Just for numbers as well, for warnings, we issued 120 warnings as of Saturday the 21st till this morning, 120 official warnings from the police. And the next time that we show up to a location, it doesn't matter what location, or we encounter that same individual, we will take action. We're under the belief that we're working together on this one, and everybody's aware. And if we're not doing your part, if we're being resistant, and we have to respond several times, you're taking resources out, critical resources of government, where we should be using that resource for something else. I think everyone knows that we patrol the wharfs, the airport, we get the markets, we have the hospitals, different hospitals here in Poland and Savaii. There's a lot of critical areas that we're posting cops, and that's on top of the normal calls that we do get on a daily basis. Last year we responded to almost 15,000 calls for service, and that number is increasing. I don't know exactly what the numbers are today, but the numbers are still coming in. Crime does not stop. We got domestic violence issues going on. We arrested, I think, 8 people yesterday or the day before in one day. So I don't see these numbers dropping. So I just urge the public to remain calm, be collective. Well, let's work together on this one here. Obey what the order is. It is for the benefit of all of us here. We are also subject to this virus. So I'm very careful and cognizant that our officers don't get sick, don't get catching this virus and bringing it here, and then taking it back to your family and compound the situation. We have to have, and I tell my staff that we have to be in the mindset that it's already here, and then we have to take all the preventive steps to ensure that this thing doesn't spread if it's already here. We're monitoring the airport, like I said, very carefully now. We're heavily down at the wharf now, something that's another area that we really need to tend to a little bit more. And the Samoan police, as of today, is tending a little bit more to this area here at the wharf, something that probably been a little bit neglected. But otherwise, be confident in your police, that we're here and we're here to help you. We're not the enemy. So if the cops do show up to your site, your venue, something's going on, be kind to them. They're only doing their job. They're following these orders here, and they're following what we're supposed to do here, our mandate, while we go through this state of emergency. Also, is that what we know here in the Samoan police is that we are here alone now. There's no other agencies going to help us come in and help us. We are here alone. So we have to be really smart. You have to be very careful, considerate, mature, be very professional when we deal with these things, and be very careful of how we use our assets here. We cannot call out for help, and other countries will come and help, only because they're all busy themselves. The United States, Australia, New Zealand, they're taxed as well. So we do everything possible now with what we have, the strength and even the weaknesses that we have, and as a group, I'm sure we can rally all the resources and intelligence to come together as a nation to deal with this pandemic. So with that, I'd like to open it up if there's any questions for the Samoan police, for me, or anything specific to, but before we answer any questions, I would like to turn over the time to Commissioner Taito here to say something.
Yeah, Papalii, Fuiavailili for morning invitation, and for so for Ikaku, Pastor Nita out. Yeah, Salomon see the fear for Italy. After what to know, if for too long of fat in my if I put with my last for later last from Jenny, and if I sell on my luck, Monday, good morning, Samoa. You're too long away. Why, well, fast out the toy fine yasing over and tap. Say, bang now, toy along my says swing a folk, you're not toy. Did they pull them? If I pay enough for Momo Betotino, Pangta, Samasani Molia to Latuaina, where so you can't fear for. Say, toy, see, swing. Too long for a day. From Sinonga for o Pangtama, but out Tafia. It was also Tafia, yeah, finger from Sinonga. Ale au Kafia, ma Panka. So, Malovas, well, it goes fairly, Yana Panka, and by Imundu, or the finger from Sinonga. Yeah, tapping out 4 years, Sakala, Eoi, Ilako Aina, Kaimasingam, yeah, Kafia Mukulanga on the Puku in the Lavor, the Tulang away. If I come in later, said emergency money, come fire for which we make it work. No, I fear car food. The coronavirus. You can nail from time of what by appointment only. Lang and now was in my thing, I know my appointment. And more fast so time, the fun by here now. From my mother, I will pass my own attend here from the format. You said my second appointment. Ia kwam fai foi dia ma au mai bai kwa ia au mai fo mo kan fai reduce pe ko lua mai ka va de kas ngol pu ngala vol kulanga le ia ngi ko ke des enclosed space e mai e mai ia ma officer e mai escort mai fa ma wa pe fo wa kulanga le wo ye wo fa sa fo ko ke non ka ka mai fa ma mai la ko ma io le wa ka fia fo ia lo ku ia sa Pangka menunggu maka kuang ngaf ia pul kalam befo sa fai wa ka fi fo ke lo pul kalam pangka ngon pui ngala wa ko ke se me ai pa me ne fa ai do ke minge o le public health training officer ia fa ma mo ko inga public health le fa si da mai ele official fan ma yo training nga do ka mo fai fo ia ia de kanga luenga e fa lo mo fa do i de au fanga mo ia fa mo so so ngai pangka makara ia ma posters umba meia fa ngal public health flow aba ku mo ka ia fa pi mo ko mo ia ma fa fo di training ni su pangka mo kai ma ngoma awai sei ka fa ma me fo ia kurang ia emphasize ia kurang na ko ngai fu ia lo la ko au fasmori ia ma sanitizer foi pa mau ia ma kulanga ngai nei o no donops mai sino mai pa ia ka fai fa fu ma fu mo pu mo fa ma io o kulanga medical visits alo ia sama sai mo ki ka e vai la ko clients ia do ka fia ai fai mo ke fu mi ku na a milore o pangka e fu e ke fu mi ka mo mana mo sort out te pa ni me court case ma pe o kulanga o mange o fai o kulanga e ko ese swinga pe a ko porase kulanga le uva so do enforce ali said emergency e ko ki fo de o problema ko ami ia al famu mo fo an kanga o ke ninguém more so fo malo loina ele nga kai o panka e me fo o fa ngalo o mo fo no maka ku o fa ngalo e lo se si wa to na fo ngale se si fi wa ku o kau ye ni flula ia ko e fai si de fa ke a como que o wala mai ha po fa mai po ia na de o la manka po test kits e testaria po al ka fa ngala voleone so fu malo luenga e nga kai ponka o office ia mare o que rio pues pe nga mia fu e lo office europea fu ni me e maka ku fu office ka e me in compliant o que lo ka ko pa pe foi no mai foi la ko wa nga luenga a que da me ia mai ia office vo ia deu so e deu do ponka mai ga ku ku que lo compliant fu que do sim ia com nga nga social by foi e long mai office do non compliance ko que lo ka ko ia nga luenga so fakas kan nga luenga do ma fa ku ia o le more safety more ka ko ka si o ni o mai ka ko wa do yo mo sa mo ne fio mal pa mi al mene ka fa mo yo wa ne ni vaccine ni kurang ya no ni ya kalau ni kurang o ya pe ngai ka pe nganga al fa ku ke mi ka start
yeah Commissioner, as you know, this is nothing new to us too. We went through the measles. We went through it, we got through it. We're just going through something that's a little bit similar but a little bit more severe. This is a partnership that the corrections has also had for a long time. We went through it with the measles, and we'll continue down this line to offer assistance, to give assistance, help each other out to ensure the safety of not only the prisoners but everyone else that's going to be affected by this thing here. Also, our maritime operations, like I said, crime doesn't stop. We're looking out for other activities that might happen during these times of crisis. So our maritime operations are still working along with the Australian counterparts that are here embedded into the Samoan police. So that's still ongoing. So there's a lot of tasking here at the Samoan police, manning these critical sites, manning these new sites, also ensuring that we're responding quickly to any calls for service that anyone needs in both Upolu or Savai. So we're very cognizant too with the lack of resources. We got staff that live in the back villages. They actually work here in town. They couldn't make it in here. So we make arrangements to shuffle our personnel a little bit to accommodate that issue and also still provide the minimum service that we can respond, and we can respond adequately to deal with any issues that might come out in the community. So with that, I think he's doing the best he can, and we're doing our best we can here too to make sure that we go through this thing smoothly, the best that we can to ensure the health, safety, and the future of Samoa.
Ang fatin ni patata bangai na fala udo fe intanga ngolo leo ya ngolo fatin wale talia tu de pola ingo fala la tu fa forse e pe tu ina certa to malo pe la vona sila fiel mamalo le tu ya o le ne polo ina ya o vai nga ese me pola ingo le fa pe la fa mano sia le intanga benga talu mai le sto na ile so disfrutasio mati se ia pizza va ia le so fa apewila e pe ona fa ilo a tele fiona komsina ia nai vai o mai tawina ntanga luenga ia fa fita uli fo i tu lai mai e pe ona ia le to tele o e kalesia le aso ana nafi ile la to le usita ia le polo inga nano e pe tu ina mai ile fa mamonga ntanga luenga pe ona fa ilo atu le ngana fa patania e ono sfuma le iva ia polo inga fo'i ia po ni warning sa tu ina tu mtanga benga e kalesia ese tono Samoa o le whaamoe lava ina ia whaititia ia le whaiti ia le tu whaatasia lea o le mamalo le atunu i se vaenga se tasi pe o na manino le polo inga ia le o tue talia ina ia ni whaputuputonga e o vātoma le lima le whainunera ia ai pe ona taʻua le afioga komisina ia o le aso na Nafo'i sa mai tauina ai sa tatala lava nisi o ekalesia i whaamaumauga ma tagaluega o leoleo e 24 sa tuuina atu i le ekalesia katolito e 15 sa tuuina atu i le e whakasā e 4 sa tuuina atu i le ekalesia metodisi 15 ia le Assembly of God ia ma le fitu i nisi foʻi o ekalesia o loo faapea lava ona silafia na mamalo le atunu o nei tulaga ua afuona faatino na tagaluega o leoleo e pei ona taʻua le afioga komisina ia ona o le tulaga i le faauaua i pea ona lē usitaʻia le mamalo le atunu o poloaʻiga le malo i le mae ai o le faalauiloa le malo e tauala mai i le afioga foʻi le palemie ia e maisei le press secretary ia o ana Nafo'i le sa mai tauina i le taeao ia ona afua i lola ia ona toe tuuina atu isi tusi o le auga ma faamoemoe nei tusi ina ia a o le taimi e faatino ai ia pe saisaia mai foʻi sesi i le lē usitaʻia o nei poloaʻiga ia o le a faaogāina uma nei faamaumauga ina ia tuuina atu le faamasinoga ia auā lava taualumaga o le faamasinoga o nisi vaega e pei ona taʻua ia i galuega faatino o le tagaluega ua faatinoina nei ia o le tuuina atu lea o le aʻonaga i vaega eseese aofia ai ia le malae vaalele o wafu ia o falemaʻi ia e mese ai ia vaega eseese o loo e mese lava talafātai o apia o le toʻatele o pisinisi ia o le ua tapunia ia ae ua tuuina atu pea le aʻonaga ma tagaluega o leoleo ina ia puipuia ia pisinisi ia e maise foʻi ia vaega nei ua tapunia ia mai nisi o le a faapea ona mafaufau e faatino nisi tulaga faasoliga atu lafonu o isi vaega e pei ona taʻua foʻi le afioga komisina o loo galulu e le matagaluega o leoleo ia o le faamuamua ia ma faaaogāina lenei ia vanua e pei ua taunuu mai le faamaʻi ina ia fautuaina ai pea le mamalo le atunuu ina ia usitaʻia le poloaʻiga e pei ona tuuina atu ina ia aua neʻi aafia le tatou atunuu e ui lava i leʻi faamaonia ni mataupu faapea ona suʻesuʻeina le matagaluega o falemaʻi ia o le naunau lava ia ina ia faaogā nei ia vanua ina ia aua neʻi pepesi ai ia le faamaʻi tonu le so tatou atunuu o isi vaega e pei ona taʻua le afioga komisina mo le silafia ia e lē gata o le aʻonaga lenei o loo tuuina atu le matagaluega o leoleo ina ia faamalosia poloaʻiga le malo ia ae o loo silasila foʻi ia le pulega nei le puipuia o le ʻaufaigaluega e toʻititi le matagaluega o leoleo ia ae o le naunautaʻiga ina ia oo atu i le faaiʻuga o lenei poloaʻiga ia o loo lava pea le ʻaufaigaluega latou te faatinoina uma vaega e pei ona tuuina mai e le malo e faatino le matagaluega nei ia o se folisaga na e faalauiloa atu ai vaega e pei ona tapena i ai le matagaluega o leoleo lenei vaitau ma le faaloalo lava faafetai
Isfisili. Yes. Yeah, it's allowed was full of 54 there were verbal warnings. Yeah. Non-compliance. So we resulted in creating a form. It documented not only that we're documenting the verbal warning they do on Mako daily field activities report, but also they'll contend with the Malay call there. But we also now figured, see, they don't file us a legal form if I sign whoever it is that's doing the infraction. If Imusu le Tanata le Sangi will just put refused on it. But technically speaking, as long as we know Walava Mau will violate the order there, we can take action then. Then we can go with the spirit of the letter of the law, if I don't look at law. But again, ole idea that we're trying to stay away from is locking anyone up. That's a last resort. So as to why the creator all the form there, we're already down. Even us over here, we're all worried. We're all in this thing together. So the last thing we want is more agitation and coming from the way of police. We don't want that. But as a last resort, we will. For the safety of all of us, we will. We did that once during the measles, but that was very regrettable. But we went the extra mile to make sure that it doesn't happen. But if that behavior continues, then that behavior puts all of us at risk, and that cannot happen. So if we see that this thing is going to continue, there's no more warning, and we'll just go directly to the other level, which we do not want to go there. So that's why we're saying, please, I think everyone knows, if you're 60 or above, remain at home. If you got a bussy or a taxi that carries more than 5 people, don't do that. There's no mass gatherings. That means funerals, that means weddings, families, and all that in public places. No bars, no restaurants. Restaurants here, I'm going to take away lava taping. So you order your food and you take it home, and that's okay. Do not hang around. And now that includes more resorts and hotels. All the bars are closed now, and if there's any eating, we highly recommend that you take away. I think the spirit of this whole thing here is just trying to not spread this virus if it's here already. So let's just all think it's here and do our part to make sure this thing doesn't spread if it's here already. There's only, like it's already been raised by the Director General of the hospital, that we have 500 rapid testing kits on its way from China. We don't know exactly when it's getting here, but that 500 will go quickly if we utilize the 500. So there's a lot of unknowns here. But I think it's very important that we all abide by this order, and we should be okay. And this order, from our perspective, it doesn't cover every scenario, and it would never will. A lot of the laws, a lot of things that we see does not cover everything. So at that point, when there's gray, you always use some little bit of common sense, and what is it that's best for you and your family and your country, and how is it to be preventive, and then we'll be okay. That's how we operate as well. We look at the order, we look at the law, then sometimes we have to read between the line when those things are not covered, the specifics, and then we see what's best for our country. And as long as our heart is in the right place, and I think we're making the right decisions here. So we're all here together through this, so if you can pass our message along. And again, we're not the bad guy here. We're here to send a message, and we want to make sure the security and health of Samoa, and we're just passing on the message, as well as ensuring that all these laws that have been implemented in this state of emergency time, 14 weeks, which it can extend if the government wishes to, that we all abide by it, because it's all for our benefit. We're on a rock, and we're here alone. So we have friends and we have partners and all that. Everyone as well is tasked with this thing. So let's just do our part to ensure that we do not spread this virus around if it's here already, and hopefully it won't. So the Samoan police will be around 24/7, always been, but we've ratcheted up our services here by opening up the command center. So any significant event that pops up, or anything that's important that we think that we need to deal with quickly from the police's perspective, all the top will be notified. Doesn't matter what time it is, and we will be here. But this operational center here is 24/7. We're all the cops, because some of these things here, these orders, these laws, are a little bit new to the officers, so they have a lot of questions. So this is a point where the cops call in, what shall I do at this point? This is what I have. And I recommend also the people of Samoa, if you have any questions, there's other resources where you can call or read it yourself. But if you want to know what the Samoan police will be doing in that particular case, call here, and I guarantee you somebody's here to answer the phone for you. And I encourage everyone too that if you do see any violations out there, make that phone call in, and we will respond. Yeah.
So,
Aside from
sorry, just to confirm, 54 verbal warnings, but in total it's 120.
Yes.
Does that include Samoa?
Include Samoa, Poland, Samoa, total. And again, these are just the ones that we've been to. Imagine the ones we haven't been to. There's a lot of issues going on, but we get the phone calls, and those are the ones that we mark. Just like last year, we responded to almost 15,000 calls, requests for services. That's not counting the ones that's happening, and we never got the call. So just from Saturday, Sunday, 120 that we issued warnings to verbally as well as in writing as of yesterday. And that includes Samoa and Upolu. And we hope by today, after today, there's no more responding to churches. That's what we're hoping. But then you never know. We're going to have to wait and see. Yeah, so specifically. Somebody had a hand here.
Yeah, aside from the warning for individuals, does that include the Main Street Church? Because I know that the Catholic have actually encouraged the members to continue the services. Does that include the top cards or the main church itself?
Well, we respond to it. It doesn't matter what church. Nobody's above the law, especially when it comes to this here. This virus doesn't care what church. They're going to infect everyone. So if it's this church over here in Mulivai or any churches here, we respond to any church. As long as there's more than 5 people, we will show up and we will shut it down. And if we have to take drastic measures to make sure that happens, if we get called there several times, then we'll have to do what we have to do as well for the safety of all of us. This was it. Yeah, okay. I
just want to ask you the kakawafu, because I know we were told my older ships will be docked really further away from the wharf where our medical would go, but we see there's a container ship docked at the wharf.
Yeah, it's a very good question, but the thing is you can't move containers from in the ocean onto shore. You can't do it. You have to dock the ship. You have to go alongside. My understanding is the ships are coming in. They park in the middle of the ocean somewhere out there in the harbor. The officials, like including health, enter that boat, make sure it's safe, there's no coronavirus or whatever it is that you're checking for, make sure it's safe, then they bring it alongside. The agreement is that none of the crew on these boats get off the boat. None. We don't get on, the crane comes off, brings a container down, we take the container, and there's no contact. We're doing a few measures right now to ensure that that procedure is kept, and we're working together now with the operators of the wharf, including SPA and the other private entities in there, their security, the customs, immigration, quarantine, and all that. We have a maritime office also at the wharf that we're a little bit more proactive now, and we'll be paying a little bit more attention on that boat. We deal with it a little bit more now. Now we're putting a little bit more focus on the wharf now. We can see it as an area where we should have paid a little bit more attention to in the past. We're focusing on the other point of entry, like the airport, international airport, but we're kind of marginalizing the wharf a little bit. So we've identified that weakness, and that is a potential issue here for this virus to come into Samoa. So we're taking proactive measures now to ensure those directives from government is followed. And whatever means necessary, we will do it.
Just last question. Is the Ministry of Police monitoring any particular individuals, those that travel overseas and being told to isolate themselves at home? Have you been instructed to look into any individuals particularly?
Well, I think we don't have anyone under our radar, or anyone that comes into Samoa. You're supposed to be sheltering in place, or isolation, detention, different names to it. We have not been following up, make sure that these folks do remain home. We are aware that there is a detention area at the Paleolo Hospital, that the hospital individuals, staff identify their potential issues there, so they do isolate these individuals there at the hospital at Paleolo. We also have a team that works closely with them to ensure the security of that compound, and if necessary, we'll up it as well. And I also foresee, since there's less ships or airplanes coming into Samoa, there's only two flights now, each once a week. Samoa Airways and New Zealand, we're upping our numbers there as well to ensure that that is peaceful, that transaction there at the airport is peaceful. When the planes leave, people check out, and when they arrive at Paleolo Airport. So we're trying to think very smartly how to deal with this thing and use our resources appropriately during this time here. So we are looking at all those avenues. We're also very cognizant too of our partners from overseas that are still here in Samoa, our embassies, the British, Australia, New Zealand, China, US, and all the rest, and our consular, honorary consulate people as well. So we're paying attention to them too, that they feel comfortable and confident that they're okay here in Samoa. So we're looking at all those. So we're a little tasked right now. We have limited resources like everyone else, but I think we can manage, and we're dipping to the Attorney General's office for legal advice on certain issues. We got the courts, we got Commissioner Taito here, we also got Customs. We got a lot of people that we can look into and share information and share our resources and how we can come together as one nation, as one government to tackle this thing here.
For 2 weeks, no one can be released from custody.
According to the Commissioner of Prison, yeah, they will remain in prison until the 14-day is over. The weekend releases that we both meet once a month. Once a month to discuss who goes out during the weekend releases. That has also been stopped. So visitors stopped, anyone coming out stopped, parole is stopped as well. So everything is on hold right now. We have our own preventive measures in here for our own personnel, and also people coming into the Samoan Police headquarters and outposts that have makaukus that need to be dealt with. That we also have something posted on our Facebook how we're trying to prevent this thing from spreading as well. So we're putting limitations and gaps on certain transactions here in the Samoan Police. We're very cognizant too that PPEs, or personal protective gear, is limited here in Samoa. So we're trying to be proactive and be critical thinkers how we can come up with our own protective gears now to protect our officers in case we do have to respond to a live case. We do have some, but very, very limited. And I know everything is scarce now, so we're trying to think of ways to create our own using the local SOAs, the local businesses here. We can buy stuff that we can tweak it so we meet our needs here to protect our employees. Because when you want to call the cops, when it does hit, that our guys and girls are protected when they do have to show up at these calls. And they're very, very critical calls, and it's very important to everyone. It's very emotionally charged situations. Even the ones that does not include coronavirus. And these are the things that these guys have to respond to every day, that we have a responsibility to ensure that our cops are responding there with the right tools and the right knowledge. They're educated and they're using some common sense and maturity to contend with anything that's presented to them. Okay, Elis Fuiavailili.
Lo fama kuma ko I ko ro inga tuna ko ile o santo fa ta wi o lo fa ale lo mai ta wi na pe mo ya e ben mo ile ya ina ko o fa ta o lo I mo le I fa lo e ben ile fa ti mo te ni ka su fo mo ta ma ko ile tu na ma ko fa so
ya fa ta na fa si o mai ta wi le fa si mai o se ta si o to ma sa ni ai yo terminei o lawa mai atu ia le tanga le mai tu no tu langa le pe mta wa ia o le tong kai me pu ia ia ta tu tu mai ile profession ne fama e wi la vai na o ta wa ta yo so le le ta no but we're treating ia ta pune as a serious matter ina ia ta fia ia I'm mai se ai lātou ia whaatau sa wali o loa ia mai lātou fo lo whaatau ina ia lātou o loa i mo whai o loa nei. Mo sila fio loa nga ia tūntanga luenga ino o rongo mai tai ang nei o lawa. Pe o na o ngol kolo inga nei sa whamarasia mai la sto na ai. Ia lea lau titi luntanga luenga i la matanga fo nei hai aso ia. E mautino ai tele ia inisi o lea whapio na whaawa o pia nga leo sita ia polo ai. Ia o lea atali atua luntanga luenga mai tūlanga o vai o fo ia pia na e tāru.
So I think in the beginning we knew that there was going to be some people that are going to be resistant, or they're just ignorant, or they don't know. The first time they didn't know, so they're just showing up doing their regular stuff, selling items on the streets or on the sidewalks. So today was a test day, and now we're seeing people coming in that did not know. So we're doing our work now is to go and talk to them and then disband them immediately. So we knew it was coming. But it's the approach that we're very careful on our approach to, that we are not there to create any issues, but make them understand and go back home and take their merchandises with them. So it's probably going to pop up again and again, but the key thing is it does not reoccur, it does not happen again. And then that shows us that this person doesn't care and does not want to abide by these regulations and these new rules. Okay? Okay, if there's nothing else, I'd just like to thank you guys for coming in. I'd like to thank my staff. I think it's very important to recognize the hard work that the Samoan police officers are doing, the men and the women in here. They're here 24/7 for you. They're here for Samoa. These women and men in the Samoan police, they're not from anywhere else. They're from Samoa. These are our people. These are our brothers. These are our sisters. So be kind to them. Be gentle with them when they come to you. They have a job to do, and we're going to see this thing through all together. Yeah, with that,